Hey guys, welcome to the Monday video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Monday is always our discussion-based video. We have a couple different things going on. The Prius did get tinted. We're going to wait a little bit to show you guys that because we have something else that's going to go along with it in a video coming up, so make sure you stay tuned for that. We got to get the Fox Body Mustang here this week, so it's going to be kind of a crazy week. But for today's video, we have another little tool review. Today, we're talking the Milwaukee Fuel half-inch impact wrench. So this is the Fuel half-inch impact from Milwaukee. As you can see, it's kind of a beast of a gun. You can get all sorts of different batteries on there. Just going over the gun a little bit itself, this again is the Fuel model, so this is the brushless version. And as far as impact guns go, I know we talked about the ratchet a little bit, and I said I like the non-fuel better. Absolutely, without a doubt, when it comes to their drills and impact guns, I wouldn't even think about picking up anything other than the Fuel version. They're just a lot better. So this one has two different power modes. Milwaukee claims 700 foot-pounds of tightening torque and 1100 foot-pounds of nut busting torque. And you can see right here, there's two power modes right there you can click, and there's 1 and 2. One only gives you 100 foot-pounds. You don't snap anything. All right, so that's kind of a nice feature. Other than that, we got a 5.0 battery on here. They're up to like a 12.0, which is just insane. But this big battery really makes this thing powerful. You can push this button right here and it'll give you a charge indication. Right now you can see that this battery is only at 2 bars left, but that's kind of a nice feature. Other than that, let's get right to it. So this tool, I love to have at work, and I think this is something that has come a long ways in automotive, is battery technology. You know, you used to have NiCad tools, and at the time they were okay. And the biggest difference that I've noticed on lithium ion versus NiCad is a NiCad battery, you get about halfway through your charge and it would gradually lose power. With lithium ion, it seems more that obviously when you get super low, you do notice a little bit of a power depreciation, but it's more right away. So it's like you have full power until the battery's almost dead and then it just quits. And they don't really like the cold too much. So you leave these batteries out in the cold, they don't really like that. But other than that, this thing has been awesome. And it's just amazing to me what you can do with a battery tool these days. I have a friend that was a farmhand for a while. They'd use these to take off semi wheels with a battery powered gun. I mean, it's just insane. So right here I have my Mac Tools new high performance half-inch impact that they just came out with this last year. So it's almost brand spanking new, and they claim 1,400 foot-pounds out of this gun. I've been happy with it, but I've had nuts and bolts and fasteners that this will not take off, will not budge with our industrial compressor at the shop, that this gun will take off. And initially when I bought this, people would actually make fun of me because they're like, well, there's no way that thing has the amount of power that an air gun does. And I'm not kidding you when I say this. Almost everyone in our shop has had something that either this brand new Mac model or similar, Snap-on, Ingersoll Rand, whatever, would not take off. And I just said, hey guys, try the Milwaukee. It's not rated at as much power as some of these other guns, but it's just the way it delivers it. I haven't had a single fastener so far that this thing will not take off. And I'm dead serious. I've had this for about 2.5 years, and there has not been a single fastener that I have not been able to take off with this. There's been a couple times where I sit there and hammer on it and it's still for a little while, but it'll always creep them off. Axle nuts, whatever you want, this thing will do it. And like I said, people would start to make fun of it when I'd say, no, if your air gun won't take it off, come use my Milwaukee. And now it's like a regular thing at the shop. They'll come over and kind of have their, hey, can I use your Milwaukee? Yeah, it's that good, you guys. And as an enthusiast, I think this is a great option because it almost completely eliminates your need for an air compressor. It's that powerful. The only trouble I've had with it, it is quite large. You can see how big it is compared to even this half-inch air gun, which is still pretty big. So if you're doing stuff like taking crank bolts off and stuff like that, doing a timing set, it doesn't really fit in there. I had a crank bolt at the house one time that I was doing. I actually took the radiator out of the vehicle to try to fit this in there and make enough room. Still wasn't enough room in there to be able to do that. So it does have some size restrictions, but if you have anything out in the open, this thing is an absolute beast. And they have a new one now that has a little bit more power. It looks just like this, but it actually has a third setting so that when you're backing something off, it'll automatically slow it down when it feels that it's broken loose. It's like torque sensing, I believe, or something like that. But that's kind of cool because then your bolts and fasteners don't fling off. But it wasn't enough power and enough new features for me to justify upgrading this. This thing is absolutely amazing. When I bought it, it was about $400, I believe. Now I think you can get the tool for like $250, something like that. But like I said, it seems to eliminate your need to have an air compressor. The only other thing that I don't like about this gun is that it's very heavy, and that's irrelevant because that's across the board with these 1/2-inch impacts. This is about 5.7 pounds, so almost 6 pounds, whereas this, and this is a chunkier air gun, this is 5 pounds. So this is almost a full pound heavier with the battery and everything else. So if you're using this for an extended period of time, your arm does get pretty sore. But like I said, it's for the enthusiast. I think it would be great for the do-it-yourselfer because you don't need an air compressor. You can take your own wheels and stuff like that off without having the need to have an air compressor. Because, like I said, I have a nice air compressor in my garage, about an 80-gallon unit. You guys have seen that in a couple videos. It's about as tall as I am, but I got lucky. I got that for 120 bucks. I couldn't afford to go out and buy one of those that size brand new because they're like 1,500 to $2,000 depending on what brand you go with. So most people, even if you had a nice impact gun like this, they don't have a compressor that'll keep up to give this the power that it has. So these Milwaukee tools are coming a long way as far as that goes. So the Milwaukee 1/2-inch impact is really a tool I would recommend. A little bit spendy, but it's worth the money. And as any Milwaukee tool, it's got a 5-year warranty on the tool, no questions asked. You break it, you send it in, and they'll warranty it for you. And I've actually done that on my 3/8, and it was pretty seamless. I sent it in, waited a while, about a week, and then I went and picked it up at my local distributor. So you guys, I hope you've appreciated this quick little tool review of the Milwaukee Fuel 1/2-inch impact. I think if you're on the fence about it, you go out and get one. I've used a couple other 1/2-inch impacts that I wasn't quite as happy with. I know they do have a mid-torque range gun, which still has enough power to do wheels and stuff like that, but for me, if I was gonna get one, I wanted the big one. So it's awesome. I really love the tool. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I appreciate each and every one of you. We're trying to get to that 500 mark so we can give away another tool. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.